And welcome back, everybody. On this week of the Rugby Review, we're going to be going through the Challenge and Champions Cup finals matchups. So the first game we're going through is the Challenge Cup Championship game between Montpellier and Ulster. And as we dive into the stat sheet here, after watching the game, outside of the first 15 to 20 minutes, it just felt like it was one-way traffic for the rest of the game. So, first 15 to 20 minutes was back and forth between the two teams. If I remember correctly, Montpellier scored first, and then Ulster answered. Montpellier scored again, another try. Ulster was able to answer with another try of their own. And then after about 15, 20-ish minutes, Montpellier's defense and discipline really upped its game and really upped its level. And the physicality of Montpellier, again, increased. The defensive intensity was much, much better. And the discipline, way, way better. It almost felt like outside of that first 15 to 20 minutes, Montpellier didn't commit another penalty for the rest of the game. I don't really know if that's true, but again, outside of that first 15 to 20 minutes, it was just one-way traffic. And just absolutely, just a game dominated by Montpellier. You know, you want to play your best when the best is needed, and that's exactly what Montpellier did this past weekend. So just again, really strong performance by Montpellier here. You know, kind of unfortunate for Ulster. You never really like to end your season on a 30-plus point blowout, but that's life sometimes. That happens in sports. But, looking at the stat sheet here a little bit closer, there's really nothing here that would suggest Montpellier is blowing Ulster out during the course of this game. Possession and territory, pretty close and skewed towards Ulster. Montpellier is the team under defensive pressure, having to make more tackles throughout the course of this game. Ulster's getting more post-contact meters. Same amount of clean breaks between both of the teams. Turnovers won is virtually the same. Turnovers lost, very comparable. I guess this is one of the bigger differences on this stat sheet here. The penalties conceded. Montpellier very well disciplined, again, outside of the first 15 to 20 minutes. The rest of the game, Montpellier very well disciplined. Kind of can see that here with the penalties conceded. Only 5 for Montpellier to 11 for Ulster. I mean, Ulster really not even that bad. But in a championship game, 11 compared to 5 could be seen as a big difference there. So, again, really great game for Montpellier here that showed up to the championship game ready to go, ready to play. Just absolutely dominated. Unfortunate end to the season for Ulster, but hey, sometimes these things happen. So big congratulations to the Montpellier squad for an absolute dominant performance. Well earned 2026 Challenge Cup Championship. So congratulations to them. All right, the next game we're going through is the Champions Cup final. And that was a matchup of Leinster versus Bordeaux. Not the same matchup as last year, but Bordeaux was last year's champions, and Bordeaux was going for a repeat. And they most certainly got that repeat. This Honestly, the stat sheet here wouldn't suggest a dominant performance by Union Bordeaux, but It most certainly was. Leinster did come out hot. They were able to score first and very quickly, but that kind of just woke up the beast of Bordeaux, and Bordeaux almost immediately answered and then didn't really stop scoring for the rest of the game. One of the more surprising things that I saw on this stat sheet, there were two things that stood out. First thing was the number of tackles Bordeaux made in comparison to Leinster. With how strong Bordeaux was offensively, I would not have thought that Bordeaux would have made 213 tackles during the course of this game. Again, just with as well-oiled of an offensive machine as Bordeaux is, it just didn't feel like they were making this many tackles. It didn't feel like they were under this type of defensive pressure. But here we are. They made over 200 tackles this game, which was the first thing that stood out. And then the second thing that stood out, which was probably the biggest thing that killed Leinster for this game, was the number of turnovers lost. 24 turnovers lost for Leinster this particular game. It's a lot, even if it's just a regular season game, but in a championship game against Bordeaux nonetheless is almost a death sentence. It's just too much, and you just can't overcome it, especially with a team as strong as Bordeaux that has all that international firepower. I mean, Leinster does as well. But, everybody knows, Bordeaux, Toulouse, the very strong teams of French rugby, especially in the Champions Cup. So, those are the two things that stood out the most. The sheer volume and number of tackles that Bordeaux made, and the high number of turnovers and handling errors that Leinster was making this particular game. So, really great game from Bordeaux, really strong game. Closed out their Champions Cup season on a high note. Unfortunate ending for Leinster as another championship opportunity gone awry for them, unfortunately. But again, it's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes in the world of sports. So big congratulations to the other French team that won the championship this past weekend. Congrats to Bordeaux. Very well-earned victory for them. Very strong victory for them. And, we'll see how the rest of the top 14 season goes for them. So if you made it this far in the video, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. If you like the video, please hit that like button. Feel free to subscribe as well. And also, if you know anybody that might be interested in this video, please feel free to share it. Have a good one, and we will be back with URC action next week. We got URC quarterfinals to discuss after this weekend. Have a good one, and enjoy your rugby.